Well, they were together in St. Elmo's Fire, and now once again in About Last Night, Demi Moore is with Rob Lowe. Now you guys apparently have become friends.
We are.
Since that first picture. How do people in this business get to be friends when it's a business so many times people are away from each other?
Well, we sort of live in the same neighborhood.
Helps.
I think that when you do a film, you get very close. I mean, you become family, especially when you go on location and you are cut off from, you know, everything that you're used to.
Sure.
And you sort of, you know, start to lean on each other a little bit and get to know each other, and nice bonding happens.
In terms of being cast together here, that was really more of a coincidence, was it not, than anything intentional on anybody's part?
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, they almost didn't hire me because of the fact that we'd worked together again. Or that, you know, that we'd worked together.
There's a great connection that people saw between the two of you. You talked about earlier. They saw you as more brother and sister.
Yes, that when my first audition, that they thought that we, you know, that our relationship was too much like brother and sister, and because, you know, we're like buddies.
Now the two of you together performed some pretty steamy love scenes that Rob Lowe has told me were more like, well, when you do a love scene in the movies, it's like punching in a time clock. It's that routine. It's that business-like.
Well,
how do you react to that way of putting it exactly?
In a sense, he's absolutely right. I mean, this is our job. It's in the script. We know we've got to do it. I think that to say that it goes without any emotional attachments is not quite true, at least for me, because it was quite emotional for me. Maybe less for him. I mean, the cameraman and the rest of the people were men, but still, it's a very vulnerable thing to do.
Well, and at the risk of sounding cliche-ridden here, I know so many actors and actresses are rather introverted people, and yet in front of a camera you have to be far more extroverted than any of us will ever be. That seems to me to be quite a paradox, I guess.
Do you think?
Yeah. Why is it that maybe you can be more open with that camera than you could with people?
Maybe because it's not necessarily really us. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And it's for some reason it creates a safe place to explore.
Interesting. And it's not a kind of safety that we ever feel in real life situations like that, is it?
You mean a safety that we feel?
Yeah.
I think, though, in real life, if you choose to find that, you can. You know what I mean? I don't think that it's. I think a lot of people do use it as, you know, as almost a therapeutic way of working, you know, or communicating. So it's a form of communication.
Meantime, in so many of your roles, you are almost like a chameleon. You take on the characteristics of the given assignment and surroundings. I'm having trouble getting a fix on Demi Moore, especially from Blame It on Rio, St. Elmo's Fire, and now this. There's no similarity of character. Is that all to the better as far as you're concerned?
It's not a negative in my book.
Yeah?
I think that with each character I do, I learn more about myself. And I would just as well play someone who is not like me, so that I can explore and, you know, try something that I don't know.
And I know that you resist the temptations to lump actors of your generation together. You're pretty outspoken about that. You know the term I mean. We won't say it.
Please don't.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I'm happy to be and proud to stand up with all of the wonderful and talented young actors that are out there right now.
But to see them as fine actors, not as a lump.
Yeah, I don't think that we're one and the same at all.
Who are some of the bright people that you have that you see all around you as actors and actresses?
There's so many to name. I mean, I feel I'm very impressed with Mare Winningham, who was in St. Elmo's Fire. I mean, she's a phenomenal actress, and there's this. I mean, I love Allie. I think Rebecca is terrific. Rebecca De Mornay.
Yes.
And of the men, I think that of course I feel very partial, and I think that Emilio was terrific. Estevez.
You wouldn't have a special vested interest there,
No,
would you?
not at all.
Okay.
And And Jed, I mean, unfortunately, I'm not talking about all people that I've worked with, but they all are all terrific.
Well, that's kind of the point. There seems to be a lot of connections now being established among all of the people that you've mentioned, on and off screen.
Sure. I think that, you know, we relate to each other. We understand what we're all trying to do. I mean, I'm knocked out by Sean Penn. I mean, and Mary Stuart Masterson is terrific. You know, there's so many really good actors, I don't know where to begin. Although, as much as I love young actors, I would really love to work with some really experienced, established people, as well as directors, because I've worked with only new directors.
Mm-hmm. You'll hang around this business long enough and you'll all be aging together, right? Let's not close on that note, however. Let's close on the fact that I'm wondering if the relationship that you have with your friend Elizabeth Perkins in this picture is the best yet that you've had a chance to work out on film, woman-to-woman relationships.
Yes, it is. I would really look to be able to explore that further. A relationship, dealing with relationships with women.
Yeah, and what is it about this one that maybe marks an advance over what opportunities you've had before for female-female situations?
Just dealt with a little more in depth of the relationship. You know, it really, this About Last Night deals with two women who really need each other, and what happens when someone else comes in between them.
I was going to suggest some of your best moments together are as if you're in conspiracy with the rest of mankind. There's that kind of us against them element that's very cheerful, though, good-natured.
It's that true, you know, love that we have for one another. It's great. It's like I said, we need each other. We have a you know, I hate to say it, a love for each other.
Good for you. Demi,
Thank
more
you.
from About Last Night. And from Dallas for KCTV5, I'm John Tibbetts.